They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Warriors Hoopcast. And the Wolves just gave us a beating, and I am here to discuss all the problems and the issues that the squad has, and hopefully will fix along the way. There are 20-ish games left until the playoffs begin, and the bad thing for us is any of our opponents that we will face will have a dominant big man. So if we're the second seed, we might face the 7th seeded Timberwolves. And we just saw Cat pick apart our defense, whether that may be layups, 3-pointers, he was getting whatever he wanted. And we also saw Jokic come back in that Denver game, who may also be the 6th seed if we drop to number 3, which is looking highly possible right now. So yeah, let's talk about the issues. Now, the Wolves did give us a beating, but before that, we were 5-5 in Feb. And turns out that we haven't beaten a quality playoff team since Jan 25th, when we clobbered the Mavs for a 30 or 40 point win. We are 14-11 since being 29-7 in Jan. Remember January? Man, coming off that Christmas game win against the Suns, where I was in my native struggling to find any mobile data to watch. Yeah, that was a good game. And in that 14-11, we are 9-5 against sub 500 teams and 5-6 against greater than 500 teams. That's not what a contender should look like. And we have, of course, lost six of our last 8, if I'm not wrong. Look, the issues are visible to the naked eye. Every Twitter user has noticed this. Draymond is missing. Wiggins and JP are on the floor, but they are basically missing. And there is a hell lot of coaching faults. So let's dive into these a bit more. Now, our anchor, the life of our team, Draymond Green. Look, we know our defense drops by about 8 rating points when he's not playing, but what else? We miss his mere presence along with the quote-unquote adult in the room in Andre Iguodala. No Draymond to guard the opposing big. So when Looney goes off the floor, who will guard Karl Anthony Towns or Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid, whoever we face? We just can't. There's not a big enough body. And you can't put Looney on the floor for 48 minutes. That's just not him. He's not built for that. Cat feasted on those non-Looney minutes today. But poor Looney also got blown by multiple times for easy layups and hook shots. Let's not. It's painful to talk about. The first 10 non-Draymond games, our defensive rating was 103.1 because of a soft schedule. But when reality hit us, his absence meant the following things. Number 1, a lot more on Steph's plate, especially on the offensive end, and a little more on the defensive end as well. Now Draymond and Curry can't have their coveted pick and roll, which has been very effective in the first quarter of the season. Our offense is slowed, number 3. Number 4, there are defensive gaps. And number 5, again, no one to guard the opposing big man, as I said before. 112.7, that is our defensive rating since those first 10 no Draymond games. His presence, Draymond is the player through which everything runs. He's the team's mojo character. Hopefully, he's back in this month and finds a way to become at least 90% of what he was before his injury, because a back injury does not heal. It will keep re-aggravating itself. We can't expect him to go 100% as soon as he comes back. But if he does not come back playing well, then the finals is a long shot for us. Now, the second issue, the coaching shortcomings. Steve. The amount of hate you get on Twitter and on those Urkel spaces, I don't know what they're called, where I hop on to listen sometimes. Oh my god. Today's space was called Warriors Women Hating on Steve Kerr. Yeah, so not a very positive thing for him. He said there were I quote, several things I'd kick myself for after the Denver game, after that Monte Morris game winner, buzzer beater. Now, I'll be honest, more self-kicking is needed. Exhibit 1, underusage of Gary Payton II, who is insane. He's averaging as many steals as Steph while playing 18 minutes lesser per game. And Exhibit 2, terrible Steph Curry rotations. Can we please go back to the 12-6, 12-6 from last season? It worked out excellently and the dude averaged 40 points in April. Now, April is next month. No. I will not get my hopes up. Expect disappointment and you will be disappointed. Right. Now, against Dallas, why did Steph Curry sit for Moses Moody? Why? We were leading by 4 and suddenly seems like, oh, Steph Curry's on the floor. He's feeling it. Time to take him off. And he puts in Moses Moody. Terrible move. And why bench Jordan Poole when he's our clear second best scorer and creator? I'm sorry, Wiggins, but Poole is a much better scorer. I mean, his numbers aren't showing it right now, but go check his clips from back in November. He's a pretty good scorer. All these mistakes should be corrected as soon as possible. I'll give you a braingasm moment. Imagine the Warriors with Tyronn Lue as their head coach. Or, if you love scoring and hate defense, imagine Steph Curry with Mike D'Antoni from the 2017 Harden MVP season. Imagine if that system was put around Steph Curry. He would average 40 points easily. And I'm all in for it. But that's where the braingasm ends. We have lost 6 of our last 8. Let's get back to reality. Now, number 3 and number 4 are 2 players on the Warriors who were supposed to help us out a lot, but have been coming up short a lot in recent times. That's Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. Now, Andrew had 3 months of all-star play and he was correctly rewarded for it as well. Now, not everyone agrees that he deserved to be a starter. I myself disagree to an extent, but since the wing forward position did not run too deep in the West, he was chosen as a starter. But right now, his efficiency is down, his production is also down. 13 of his first 35 games, he scored 20 plus points. Now, only in 3 of his last 22 games, he scored 20 plus points. That's not all-star numbers. In Feb, he's averaging 13.8 points per game. That's his lowest since 2014. Now, in 2014, he was a 19-year-old rookie. Right, so Wiggins is not playing up to the mark. Now, where is the most improved player contender version of Jordan Poole? Remember that? When the season started, he was on the top 3 for most improved player. Right now, Kid Splash, his nickname, the splash has gone missing. He's shooting 41% from the field, 26% from 3. That's miserable. But somehow he's maintaining 97% from the free throw line, which is ridiculous. So you know he can score. You know he can get himself to the line and score as well. But 26% from 3, that's not acceptable. Now, most of his bad playing could be due to bad rotations. Compare rotation. Right. Do you know in the old days, the draft lottery used to be held in those rotating balls where there are 30 balls in a bigger ball and the bigger ball was rotated and Mark Tatum just picked out one ball and that would be the first pick. Yeah, that's how the Warriors are throwing out rotations right now. So the defenses can just crowd Steph and not let him breathe and let the rest of them take shots because the defenses know they're not making it. That's how Jordan Poole's rotation looks like right now. But again, most of it is on Jordan Poole himself. Primarily, he should score. He should attack the defense. He is slick with his ball handling. He is quick. His first step is extremely fast and he could get to the rim at will during November, December, January, but that's all died right now. And his secondary role should be distributing. Now, he has shown brilliance in both of these before. Can he be that again? And I am so dearly hoping he can. Against the Wolves, Wiggins was 12 points on 13 shots with a minus 13 overall this game. And Jordan Poole was 12 points on 12 shots and a minus 21 overall this game. Oh, and fun fact, Andrew Wiggins is shooting 40%. Did you expect me to say 3-point line? Nah, he's shooting 40% from the free throw line this month. Yes, get used to seeing him split his free throws whenever he's sent to the line, but I hope he improves. He's been saying he's been working on it. So, even Steve Kerr has been saying that, and in Wiggins' last post-game interview, he said, and I quote, "We will figure it out." That's yet to be seen. That is yet to be seen. That was number 3 and number 4. Now, the 5th issue, no true big. This is the most glaring and obvious issue. Now, here's a map. Trade deadline. No moves made for a big. Looney has no Draymond to back him up. Looney himself is kind of slow and he gets blown by pretty easily. Example, Cat from today. And the non-Looney minutes are just layup lines for teams. Anyone, Taurean Prince was getting to the rim. Jalen Noel was getting to the rim. Have you heard of Jalen Noel? I mean, the dude's a good player, but he's not heard of, is he? And who was the other one? Malik Beasley was getting to the rim at will. Yeah, so you see how much the lack of a big man is affecting the Warriors. Now, free agency is coming back, but I do not think we are signing anyone right now. I mean, if the Thunder let go of Derek Favors, maybe we have a chance. And Robin Lopez was another name, but I don't think anything's happening. We are sticking to the squad that we have. 6th issue, as I discussed on my last podcast, is defending the corner three, which is the most lethal shot in basketball right now because it's the closest and it's the most points. Adds up. We can neither defend it nor score from it. A quick callback to my previous episode, we concede 40% of opponents' corner threes, which is the 5th worst in the league. And because of this, it can lead to a pump fake and a drive which collapses our defense, and nothing good comes from that, obviously. And we ourselves are shooting 35%, which is 28th best in the NBA. Yeah, just fixing this part of our game would fix a lot of issues. Number 7, last and finally, half-court offense has been pretty bad. Our half-court offense is a tale of two extremes. One, the most fluid, beautiful basketball ever. Remember the 2017-18 season when the ball was whizzing around from one shooter to another and literally anyone who could hold the ball could shoot the three well? Yeah, it's either that or ugly basketball with no energy and turnovers, and this even carries over to the defensive end and the whole game just becomes a game of no effort on both ends. Now, this can be attributed to a few points. Number 1, inconsistent offense creation from anyone other than Steph. This is very true. Jordan Poole's not getting his shot. Andrew Wiggins is not scoring. Otto Porter Jr. has kind of lost his stride. Nemanja Bjelica is 30% from 3 this time. Yeah, nobody except Steph is providing consistent offense. And number 2, lack of stops on defense. Pretty clear if you've made it this far. I've talked about that a lot. Now, example, Curry may not have the best percentages right now, but he's getting his lunch. He has all-star numbers for sure. And on the other side of the spectrum, Jordan Poole has been averaging 12.2 points per game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists on splits of 42, 24, 96. Only the free throw part is good. The rest of the percentages, trash. On 54.5% true shooting since January 1st. That's just ghastly. And it's the same story for Wiggins as well. Hasn't scored 20 points since Jan 31st. And in this recent 10-game skid, he's been averaging 13.6 points per game with shooting splits of 41.5, 36.2, which is about league average, and 41.2% from free throw. It's hard to process that an NBA player can be this bad at free throws and not be named Shaquille O'Neal. But hopefully that gets fixed, man. And Jordan Poole is supposed to attack the rim to create opportunities for the likes of Damian Lee and other shooters on our team. But nope, only 25% of his attempts are at the rim right now. This is 50th percentile for his position. He instead opts for these pull-up shots, and he hasn't even been converting the wide open attempts that he gives off. 34.8% on open and wide open threes, which is below league average, but it's open and wide open. You have to make 40% of those pretty easily. Now, in the latest table of Western Conference, we are just 0.5 games ahead of Memphis for the second seed. Now, the story that's being told is that we might drop to the third seed. And to be honest, that would be entertaining because the Grizzlies might play one of the LA teams, and I'm hoping it's the Lakers. Do you remember the Desmond Bain and LeBron James argument that they had? Yeah, I want to see that in the playoff series. Inject that in my veins. This does not mean we should give up the second seed. Hell no, we should fight every day, every game. And that has been happening, but unfortunately not well enough. Yeah, regardless of that, a 3 seed slip up is looking likely, and what's to come is yet to be seen. That is it for today's episode, guys. If you liked it, do drop a follow on YouTube. Do drop a follow on Spotify. Do subscribe on YouTube. Like the video, like the podcast itself on Spotify. You know the drill. Share it with your friends. I want validation and listeners to go up. Please help out this guy here. Right. So that's it for today. And I don't know what outro I'm gonna put to this video. So outro in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, LeBron, when you take a shower, do you wash your legs?